I just want to do right by you guys. That's all.
Aw. Stand by your man. Jonathan Holmes, I want to wear you like a glove.
A few good places. I dated a British girl, so I was always looking around San Francisco for places that had, British stuff that would make her feel at home. And there's this one place, little Indian place that had they have like all the British candies, all the wonderful things that I've like violet crumble and shit like that. Lion Bar.
Lion
Beer.
Bar.
Strange.
Lion Bar is good. Can't eat it anymore because of my allergies, but Lion Bar is a tasty treat for the senses.
Is it
Yeah.
a lime bar?
It's like peanuts and chocolates, and it was marketed in Britain as a very manly chocolate bar. Commercials would typically depict a man eating a lion bar and then physically becoming a lion.
Oh, lion bar. I thought you said lime.
No.
I like the is it Yorkie that just strictly says like not for girls on it?
Yes, that was a particularly sexist ad campaign depicting. It's the kind of thing that truckers eat. I think that was the demographic.
That's what it is. Okay, they sell that candy bar at our corner store, like a block away from our house, that we always go to get candy late at night. Julio brought it home for once and wouldn't let me eat it.
Well, it's not for girls. It says it on the...
It has raisins in it, I think, or something.
Raisins in a chocolate bar. Are you sure you're not thinking of fruit and nut?
Does that one also say not for girls?
No. Just Yorkie says all for... I forget what's in a Yorkie. I think it's almonds.
Let me see here. Oh, shit. Googling Yorkies. Okay, Yorkie.
Don't look at the pictures of the dogs.
I think I've had like one Yorkie in my life.
Interesting. Yeah. They have a raisin and biscuit flavor.
Ah.
Then they have original honeycomb. Oh, that sounds good. White dark chocolate peanut, which is discontinued, and almond.
It's nice.
Sounds like we got the worst flavor.
Yeah.
I hate raisins.
I like raisins. I like them in oatmeal cookies. It lends a layer of adventure to any meal.
One of the better things I've had that I think is highly underrated is chocolate chip cookies with oatmeal raisin mixed in. Not raisin, just oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. It's a very, very strange thing.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
I like it better than oatmeal raisin cookies. But I feel like chocolate chips could go in just about anything and make it delicious.
I agree. They're wonderful.
Yeah. Welcome to Podtoid, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I always like to lead in with a talk about raisins and chocolates, various delicacies, and fine silks and spices from faraway lands, as we prove that the Earth isn't flat. Only joking. It's not the age of discovery, and I'm not Chrissy Colombo. I'm actually Jim Sterling, and I'm joined this week by Max Scoville.
Hello.
And Tara Long.
Hello.
And Jonathan Holmes is, by all means, cough over me. And we're going to be joined in a bit by Jonathan Holmes, who has gone to pick up his car or something. He was actually off work all day, so he hasn't been, fingering the people in the wheelchairs that can't keep their hands out of their arseholes. But he's still late because he had to go pick up his car. But that's okay. We're still here. We're keeping things on with a lot of energy. I've been up since 5 a.m. I've got no fucking energy.
I actually woke up at 5 too. It was the strangest thing. I figured out my cat likes to be fed at 5 exactly, and it's funny because I get up and I like to kick my cat when she does that. So that happens.
I woke up at 11. It was awesome.
Jesus. What is wrong with you?
Oh, but I do have to leave at 3 to go check out The Darkness 2. That'll be fun.
Getting up at 11 and playing The Darkness 2. I bet you're on Medicaid as well. Bringing down America. Unbelievable. Bumbelievable. I really don't know what I'm saying today. I'm not in the mood for a podcast, to be quite honest. You can all fuck off, but we're here anyway. I guess we could talk about some stuff we've been playing. Has anyone been playing anything interesting or not?
I played Rage.
Yeah, I played Rage. Oh, sorry, by the way, I should apologise for... Well, first of all, for this episode in advance, just because something's going to upset someone, but for last week's episode as well, which sounded like shite. It was recorded at at a bit rate of 24 kilobytes or whatever the number is, by Jonathan Holmes, totally by accident. The man has never recorded a podcast in his life, and I had to rely on him because I got the new computer and downloaded New Skype. And New Skype has an excellent feature which is called blocking any third-party access so they can sell you their proprietary shit. So I couldn't...
Yeah, that's actually... You were on on the Destructoid show, and we couldn't get you on there because we couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
My camera couldn't work, so that's why I was a voiceover on that, the Battlefield episode of the Detoid show as well. So I got rid of that old Skype, and I'm on... new Skype, and I'm on old Skype again. And straight away, fucking recognised the Skype recorder, recognised the my webcam. So, seriously, fuck you, Skype. And has Microsoft taken over yet, or is this just a taster of what's to come? Because, I mean, seriously, like, oldapp.com is the best thing in the world, because then you don't have to deal with that kind of shit. So, anyway, I guess we could talk about Rage. Did you like it or not?
No.
No?
I didn't.
Ooh.
I really didn't. Granted, I didn't play nearly as long as you did, although I've heard it kind of gets worse towards the end.
It definitely... oh, Jesus Christ, I've got to sign something to get Arkham City. Oh, sorry. I probably shouldn't have said that. Yeah.
Oh, poor Jim Sterling has to sign something.
I know. I'll be on Medicaid next. Fuck it.
Guess what I have to sign? I have to sign a receipt at the store after I pay with my credit card for it on launch day. You fuck.
You have to sign my nuts.
They're making me write on your testicles.
Yeah, with your mouth,
with puffy paint, which I have to hold it with my mouth.
Okay, so Rage.
Oh no, they put lipstick on you.
It's like an erotic Nickelodeon game show. It's terrible.
They put lipstick on you, and you have to kiss your name on my balls.
Why does the word puffy paint sound so dirty?
This is fucking disgusting sounding.
So weird.
Yeah. Tara, does it disturb you, right, when people say lewd comments about you on your on the videos to the Destructoid show? Because I read one today.
I know what you meant.
Am I allowed to read it out or not?
Wait, which one?
It was the one that's been thumbed up quite a bit.
Go ahead.
Alright, hold on. Let me load that up just because I don't want to misrepresent this. I want to be,
no.
You know, as... I can't even load it up. Actually, Tara, if you've got it open, if you want to read it, because it's quite something.
Which one?
The one that's got five thumbs up.
One that points out Camal toe and low cut shirt. I don't have a Camal toe.
It just says Camal toe and low cut shirt. Nice. And 5 thumbs up.
YouTube is the worst place on the internet. It's fucking incredible.
I actually thumbed that down, but it still made it up there.
It's like, you see, because I don't know how you react to that kind of stuff, so it's probably incredibly obnoxious of me to bring it up and keep talking about it, which I'm gonna do. But it is funny.
This is... Usually comments aren't this lewd. I mean, I don't know if that could be really defined as lewd. It was kind of embarrassing reading it, but I also... Yeah. But if I did have a huge Camal toe in the episode, I don't think... I don't know. I couldn't have really said much, but I don't see it.
The trouble is, my first thought was, where? I'm going to have to look. And then I was like, no, I'm not looking for a colleague's camel toe. And then I stopped myself for curiosity.
Too. First of all, I don't think you can even have a Camal toe when you're wearing jeans. I'm not sure if that's possible.
I don't know, you'd have to be like Christina Aguilera or someone.
I just love how Camalto sounds like a medieval bird that would help you. You must find the rock's nest. You must consult with Camalto, leader of the bird people of Cloud Kingdom.
Follow the star! Follow the star!
Right, Camalto, I have to go forth and find those emeralds.
If you guys title this episode anything having to do with Camalto, I'm never doing Podtoid again.
I like the way it's talking as if he slapped a horse on the arse and he's going, firm, nice strong teeth, just camel toe, low cut shirt, nice. I'll take 5.
Oh, I hope this at least bumps our views up on this episode a little bit.
Oh yeah. Well, I was thinking of calling the episode just Tara Gets Her Massive Jugs Out, because I think that would probably get some listens.
They want to listen to you take off your shirt?
Yeah.
People like that. That's what Howard Stern did. You couldn't see it, but the knowledge. People get off on the knowledge. They want to know that people's busters are hanging out, just flopping around.
Also, porn stars have a very specific sounding voice, so you can kind of imagine it.
Yeah, so you know. Because you hear a voice, and you know that voice has been around a penis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You sometimes talk to a dick.
Oh!
Whispering at the dicks.
Speaking of which, Alana Evans, the famed sex lady, returned an email. So Alana Evans and Misty Dawn, 2 porn stars, might be on a Podtoid soon.
I read something that Misty Dawn is no longer part of that project.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
She's doing a different thing where she...
That's Van Halen all over again.
Yeah, seriously. Shares an apartment with some other porn stars for 24 hours, and I'm like... I mean, the whole thing is like...
24 hours?
Yeah.
Like the real world, but compressed into a day?
And
but with porn stars?
It sounds like... I mean, I'm
really
sorry.
dumb. What do they... Do they just all have sex with each other if they get bored enough?
I think it's like a voyeurism kind of. They're probably going to have some sex, but I think it's going to be just sort of a voyeuristic thing. And they're like, "Yep, you're going to see us using the bathroom. You're going to see us in the bedroom." And I'm just like,
"Oh, so it's like a porn. It's an actual porn thing that people watch." And
that is, yeah. I mean, if there's one thing I want to do, it's watch a veteran porn star sitting on the toilet, shit rattling out of her ass.
I don't know if it rattles.
Who doesn't?
It depends on the diet, really.
I wish Holmes was here for this conversation.
I don't know if he's old enough for this. Yeah, but I was thinking about that, and it's just you can't have sex for that long with it being entertaining. Really, it's just going to be like 24 hours is a long time.
It's probably just like, is it a live stream? Do people just drop in and drop out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You don't watch for the whole 24 hours. You see some chick taking a dump, then you get off, and then you leave.
Oh.
That is. Okay, I think Tara's nailed down the principal attraction of porn star shitwatch.
It's not just shitwatch, though. I think they're probably going to have sex, too. I think the thing that's weird is that, like, I mean, we did the Dead Island stream. That was like, we weren't expected to keep it sexy. We were kind of just having, like, a sustained playing video games and dicking around for a while. And it's only three. It's 2 girls and a guy, and I just don't know what they're gonna do. Like, I thought
it was like 20 people in a house.
No, that's the worst part. It's like 3 people, and I'm like, that's. I mean, I could probably just spy on my neighbors, and it'd be more interesting,
Yeah.
So there's just gonna be one guy.
Yeah.
Who has to keep it going for 24 hours.
Well, I mean, sex isn't the end game here, is it? It's literally just their house. In their spare time, I guess, so they'll probably be tired of sex because they'll be doing that on a set somewhere. They'll come home, the last thing they want to do is get their knickers off again. So you will literally just be watching them brushing their teeth, eating omelettes and shitting everywhere.
So sex isn't even the main attraction. You don't even know if they will have sex.
If I want to see something just sleep, eat, and shit, then I will buy a hamster.
Yeah.
And I'll probably get more sex out of that and all.
It's pretty weird. I don't know. People like weird stuff. People like watching live streams of video games. I don't
People
get
listen
that.
to this shit.
Exactly. What's up with
So,
that?
I mean, people are probably still listening to this, despite the inane drivel we've just spent 15 minutes talking about. So,
Yeah. Yep.
you know, more power to them. Probably the same people that watch porn stars shitting are the same people that listen to us. So,
Go buy our Podtoid app, by the way.
yeah, please do. $2.
You know what?
I feel like
I thought that was the perfect time to promote.
Yeah, I feel like
hold
a
on.
bastard just bringing that up.
Also, go buy one of those Squid Bear shirts that I made like a year ago.
Yeah, Max Schofield did a Squid Bear shirt on the Dtoid store.
You know, I just so you know, like when you buy one of those, I get like $8.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they need to hurry up and get that I Hate Jim Sterling shirt fucking up there. I want $8.
Yeah, right? That's like every time they buy one of those, I buy like either like 2 beers or an action figure, and it's fucking great.
I need to come up with a shirt. Come up with a shirt idea for me so I can make monies. I need money dollars.
Just do Camal toe and low cut shirt. Nice.
Forget I asked.
Maybe
Camal toe in the Cloud Kingdom.
Yeah, maybe we could do a big drawing of the Camal toe and just
What if we just drew
Camal toe?
What if we did the fantasy realm of Podtoid and it's like Muddy Buddy and just all our dumb shit that we say, but you know, drawn all mystical and wonderful.
Why don't we spend a week, because it'll take at least that long, doing a choose your own podcast?
Oh Jesus Christ, that would be incredible.
Yeah. A what podcast?
It would be like you download like a zip file and it's got like 250 audio files in it. And it's like, if you want to take the left path, open file 46B. If you want to take the right path, fiddle me ree, open 52C. And then it's like, a goblin has appeared. He looks like Willem Dafoe. There's a Podtoid in joke. Why don't you fight it or not? Make sure you've got provisions. It's got to have provisions. Like, that's my favourite bit of any adventure, because the word provisions is funny.
All right then.
Oh dear. Podtoid. What have we done now? I was going to say something, but I forgot. So we should probably just get back to Rage. What didn't you like about it, Tara?
Actually, I got the most irritated by the game's autosave feature, just because I was playing with Anthony Carboni. We were passing the controller off to each other pretty much the entire time. Every time we got frustrated was about every 20 or 30 minutes. And you know, the first kind of, I don't know if he's really a boss, but where there's the guy in the tank and you have to shoot him like in the head. But every time you step out from behind cover, he sends a guy to go attack you. Okay. Yeah, that part just, like, fucking annoyed the shit out of me. Because we beat the guy after, like, 20 minutes. And then some random dude came out, killed us, and then we died and had to go back and re-kill the boss all over again, and fucking sucked. I thought all the missions reminded me a lot of, like, Dead Island, just boring fetch quests and shit. I didn't care about any of the characters or anything. Nothing interesting I thought was going on. The actual, like, close quarters combat was pretty good once you get into the actual corridors and fighting areas. But, I don't know. I was not into it at all. I was hoping I would be, because it's such a pretty game, and I'm into shooters and stuff, but I didn't see anything remarkable about it that set it apart as its own game, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I had a better time. Obviously, my review's on Destructoid. I'm a big fan of Doom 3, so I kind of liked the setup of the combat, the monster closet type of thing, where you got a corridor, big room full of enemies, corridor, big room full of enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the animation. That's what... Like, I know graphics, as they say, aren't everything, but sometimes they can really enhance the gameplay, because you just feel like you're more invested in it. And seeing the enemy behavior variety was just...
Yeah, that is
incredible. Cool. Yeah, I mean, just... You can fight the same mutant type over and over again, and they'll still find ways to surprise you. Like the first time one of them ran through a door and then stopped in the doorway and grabbed hold of it like a spider, just to roar at me and then pounced forward. I was just, wow.
Yeah.
And then if they
It's definitely a scary game.
it can be. I mean, there's some good atmosphere to it. And I love just the way that different clans behave differently. Like if you're fighting the Ghost Clan, they'll run at you with melee weapons, or if you're fighting the Shrouded, if they take a beating, they'll start to strategically retreat. Like they'll send one guy back to a further bit of cover while another one's providing covering via. Just these subtle ways in which the characters behave differently. It made the combat feel a lot more dynamic, possibly than it actually was. Some of it was illusion, of course, as many games are, but it was a very convincing one. And that's what I ask, really, if you're going to do Smoke and Mirrors, is to make it convincing. And they definitely did. It made me feel like the battlefield was a lot more alive than in other games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I played the game a lot less than both of you guys did, and I just previewed it a while back, and pretty much based on other people's reactions and sort of my stance on things, I think, I mean, it's an id game, but I think it's id trying to do something that they're not used to doing.
Mm-hmm.
Rage.
Rage!
It's called Rage.
That's Jonathan Holmes there, yeah.
The game should just be called Dumb. I'm dumb.
Whoa.
Rage.
Not into it.
Have you played it, Jonathan the Judgmental?
I'm just talking about the name. That is one dumb name for
your name is dumb.
Hold on
Rage.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Jonathan Holmes.
Or Brown.
Jonathan Holmes.
Brown. Yeah.
Racist.
Jonathan Holmes. Do you remember that haircut you had in 1996?
It was more like 94, but
Okay.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, was that cool then?
No,
You sure?
I'm sure it would. Trust me, I was told it was not cool.
Well, the point is you had
Rage.
Road Fools was
Rage. I'm gonna go play Rage tonight.
cool.
Rage.
It's an id
really
game.
funny.
They made Doom. They made Quake. Like they make these monosyllabic, stupid games that they're
really dumb.
They're dumb.
Would you have preferred it to be called Rhythm Heaven?
Yes.
Just
Or
the
something.
exact same game, but it's called Rhythm Heaven.
I'd be more interested in playing it, certainly, if it had a name. Huh?
Poppy,
Fucking Holmes shows up and interrupts me.
Golden Clam.
Rage. I've been laughing about it for a long time. Rage. Is it good? Is it fun? You guys like it?
It's shut up. Let me say a thing about it. Damn it. It's an id game. Like people who like Doom and people who like Quake, they probably like it because it pretty much you get guns and you shoot people with them, and then the people blow up and they're scary, and you're in corridors, and the level design.
I've never played anything like that before. That sounds amazing. That was sarcasm. Rage.
You are a Jonathan Holmes. You are a little shit today.
What is your problem, man?
Your
Jonathan
attitude-
Holmes.
Oh, Rage. It's
Are there
Rage.
any
This is
shooters
what Rage
you like?
does to me.
This is what happens when you get off when you take a day off work. Is this what you're doing?
Oh, I just finished jogging. Oh, I'm so tired. My legs.
Shut
Yeah.
up.
Not everything can be Captain Rainbow.
It should be.
Damn it.
It probably
Life would be
should.
better.
It probably should. But oh god, John, really, just keep it zipped. No
I'm sorry.
one's interested in your attention-grabbing trolling. Me. It's the Jonathan Holmes show. I just realised I could easily be talking about myself.
We're just having fun together as friends.
Sorry, I don't know why I found that so funny.
Because it's true. Funny because it's true.
You're a mean man, Jonathan.
I
You're
am.
being a
I
jerk
look.
today.
I try to hurt
Holmes,
people.
have you ever played a shooter you liked?
Oh yeah, sure. I liked what's the last shooter I liked a lot? Like a lot.
Oh,
I mean,
God,
I like
South
Doom.
Park
I was
one on
going
the N64.
I like Portal's not really a shooter, huh? I liked I know me. I don't hate games where you just run around and shoot guys, but
Okay, I got a question. How do you like Resident Evil, but you don't like Doom? Or you don't like the scary game?
Doom's fine. Doom 3 is good.
That's what I'm saying. This is like that. Rage is a stupid name.
Is it scary?
It's scary in the same way. Like, it's less scary than Doom 3, I'd say, but it's probably about as scary as maybe like Quake is.
It's got an intensity to it. Like when you're surrounded by mutants sort of screaming in your face, it's pretty tense.
See, my general rule of thumb is I like horror movies a lot, and I'm only like action movies if I can laugh at them as well as get into them. I rarely take action movies seriously. So, and it's kind of the same with a lot of games. I like horror games, but yeah, go ahead.
Rage is I don't think it's quite as grrr as you think it is.
Well, you can't blame me for thinking.
It's got John Goodman in it.
Oh, really? I like John Goodman.
Yeah, it's got John Goodman in it, and it's got like they just got a cute girl who teaches you how to throw a boomerang. Like it's not really it's not like.
What should they have called it then, Max Scoville? What would you have named it?
Well,
Rage.
I don't know, Borderlands. Back when they were thinking of the name for it 6 years ago. I think that its fault is that it's id trying to be something that it's not, which is like innovative from. I mean,
I think it's more id trying to pretend to be something that it's not, and pretending to try to be something that it's not.
It's like when an older woman tries to dress 20 years younger than she is.
And they are. It's the id guys, aren't they, in their 40s?
And because Max, you made that comment on Destructoid as well, and I like the bit you followed up, which is why I haven't been praising the game as much as I'd like to. Is that element of it would be a lot more attractive if, like the older woman, it dressed like she was and didn't try to look younger, because that just makes it look uglier. Which is exactly Rage's problem. The driving and the fake open world, which is just there to try and trick you into thinking you're playing something bigger than it is, that shit gets in the way. They'd have been much more served if they'd have just stuck to Doom 3 and given you a linear A to B, like Doom 3 or Half-Life or something. Like, it's not a dirty thing to just be a straightforward A to B shooter. And when you get into the dungeon areas, that's what it is. But to try and look modern.
You have to drive there.
Yeah, to try and look modern.
That's
you have to drive there.
When I played that, I mean, the fact is, it still has like corridor levels that are pretty well designed levels where you go around and you shoot guys, and like, the thing you get to this, you meet some guy and he's like, I need you to go put up this antenna or shoot these bad guys or whatever, and you go okay, and he's like, you take this dune buggy and you drive to this place. And then you open a door, and then the level starts. That's when the level starts. You run through it. You shoot all the guys. You pick up the things, the ammos and stuff, and then you shoot all the bad guys. And maybe there's a big bad guy at the end. And then at the very end of the level, the ones that I played, there's just a zip line, and it takes you down to where you started the level, and then you drive back to where you talk to the guy. And like, from when you go into that area, that bandit hideout or that mutant cave or whatever the fuck it is. It's just like a level of a first person shooter. It's like a Doom level or a Quake level. It's pretty linear, and they've embellished it with this driving mechanic, which is it's pretty cool. It's some cool stuff there, but it's not their forte. It's like a bonus feature that they tried to make like a full feature out of, I think.
Yeah, I think the idea is that it's got some great ideas, but none of the ideas are finished. It's like they've got this awesome card game in it, Rage Frenzy. And, you think of card games within games. You think of Final Fantasy, Triple Triad and all that kind of stuff, which had this random element, like the fun of actually collecting card games in real life, like randomly stumbling on cards and thinking, oh, what have I got? And then battling with them and winning more, except that's not how Rage does it. They've got a small number of cards in predetermined hidden locations. Only 2 people in the entire world play it, 1 on each disc, and it's the same thing over and over again, and there's no element of randomly collecting cards, and there's no like all the fun of a card game. Like I actually loved playing Rage Frenzy within Rage. Like I loved playing the card game. But I was just making money, and if I wanted more cards, I'd have to go into dungeons and just hope I found wherever they had preset, where the preset location where it had hidden it. And it's like, well, that's not why card games are popular. People like collectible card games because they like collecting cards. And, there's that random element of what did I get, but all that joy is taken out of it. And the same with the crafting system. It's like they've got you can make gadgets, and there's some awesome stuff like the wind sticks, the boomerangs that cut off heads, sentry turrets, little spider robots that help you out. But there's no actual crafting system. It's just like, pick up some random junk, press a button, there you go, you've got a spider. And you can buy all the schematics for all the objects, like, just snap, 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 there you go, you've got them as soon as you find a new store, of which there are 2. 3. Don't want to undersell it. But, it's like that you've got all... It's same with the races. It's like you win races, earn racing tokens, buy upgrades for your vehicles, and then upgrade your vehicle, except there are about 4 vehicles in the game with very small amounts of upgrades each. It's like everything had so much potential and looks so deep when you first encounter it, and then you realise that, no, it's incredibly shallow and all the ideas are unfinished. But when it decides...
It sounds like rubber ass syndrome again a little bit.
Possibly. I mean, when the game decides to just be what it actually is at heart, when it's like, right, you're in a dungeon, you've got your guns, shoot shit, then it's great fun. It's a load of fun. It's just everything else surrounding it only exists to waste your time and make you think you're getting more than you've got. And I don't like that deceptive element. I don't like being told, oh, there's these collector's cards and you can have a card game and it's awesome, and then realising, no, once you've played it once, you don't really need to play it again. Or going to a hub city and thinking, wow, this city's pretty cool. I wonder what the big cities will be like later. And then you realise, no, this is it. Have fun. Just this stuff. Just so much promises in that game and none of it's really delivered. Which doesn't mean the game's not worth your time. Bethesda, who are, according to them, slightly confused by my score. Probably shouldn't have said that. I think it's a good game, but it definitely, like I said in the review, it's fast food, It looks so much better on the menu, and even though it's tasty, once you're done with it, you'll be hungry again as soon as you're done. Which is, fuck you, fast food, ruined my life. But anyway, the point is it's not a fulfilling, hearty meal.
No, right. The expectations play a big part in that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's life in general. That's not just video games. If you go in expecting something to be fucking amazing, you're much more likely to be disappointed than if you go in with kind of like an open mind or, not being sure what to think.
I went in pretty disappointed just from my small glimpse of it at E3, and I came out even less impressed than going in.
Well, I mean, Tara, it's not really... you're not really like a shooter person much, are you? I mean...
I am, though. I like games like this. I just didn't have any fun with it.
Did you play like... did you play like Doom and Quake back in the day? Because the stuff you were complaining about...
What?
I mean, it's just... I think it's very much... I think they're trying to appeal to like the older kind of shooter fan PC gaming crowd.
I mean, I understand that, and I can see the similarities, but I think the game also has a lot of glaring problems with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's more so the fact
it's mid game.
They're trying to
Did she say Pokenstein?
Pokenstein?
Oh, I thought you said Pokenstein. I was pretty excited.
Pokenstein.
Well, Pokemon Wolfenstein combo would be great.
That would be pretty awesome.
Would it?
Nuts, Pikachu.
Yeah, you collect them all, and you're running around collecting and poking. Yeah.
And you have to snap the necks of Growliths as they attack, covered in swastikas.
Wow.
And you fight a big mecha Professor Oak at the end with a Nazi, like a Hitler moustache.
Are you a boy or a girl?
Yeah, I'd play it. Indeed.
Yeah. Anyway,
what else did I miss? What else
else Meowth can be like Mengele. And like he's like trying to change the eye colours.
Meowth, that's Reich.
Of Q-bones.
Did you say that's Reich?
That's what I said.
That's very good.
You're so quick-witted.
That is very good. He'll be a member of the Third Reich.
Oh, Jesus fucking...
That was a good one. No, Max, it was a good one.
Fuck.
Did you guys talk about iPhone 4S yet?
Did we not talk
No.
about that?
I'm gonna get one.
It's a new phone.
Yeah. No, it's not.
It's
got
gonna
new-
be It is a
No?
new phone.
It's got
like
new
a-
gigabytes or something, right?
It's got an A5 in it, which I just thought was a measurement of paper.
Yeah.
It's also got a new like wireless system. So
What, you mean like an antenna?
the Wi-Fi is supposed to be much better. Yeah, it's got a new antenna. That's what I meant to say.
It's got 7 graphics in it.
Does this mean the old iPhone's going to be cheaper now? Because that would
I don't know, probably.
Yeah, the old one's gonna be $100 now, and the 3GS is gonna be free.
Oh.
And
contract.
Sprint now as well is a provider along with AT&T and
Oh
Verizon.
shit. Well, I might just get one then, I guess.
An old one.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
now
just
you
waiting
can
out
talk
for
about
them to be
it.
old.
Yeah.
I have okay, my phone, this is going to sound so like first world problem-y. My phone only takes 3 megapixel pictures.
Oh, first
think I know
world
what that
problem, man. Oh, I'm gonna respond to your complaint on Twitter and put hashtag first world problems. I'm gonna be so fucking original when I do. Can we fucking stop it? When someone complains about something on a social network or in conversation, can we not? Can we just kill the smart-assed fucking ball bag who... Fucking, I'm choking on my own spit here. Who chimes in with, oh,
You know,
first world
Jim.
problems, guys.
Jim, if you're choking on your own spit, that sounds like you're having a thirst world problem.
Whoa!
We should have some rainberry Gatorade.
I'm actually drinking strawberry lemonade Powerade today.
Fuck, that's so many different flavors at one thing.
Strawberry lemonade Powerade. Wow.
It's actually
I love the Powerade flavor.
Max.
Yeah, Powerade's got its own flavor.
I used to just drink Gatorade, and then when we had our little Powerade nightcap at PAX, I was like, this stuff ain't half bad. So now I drink Powerade all the time.
Wow, that's incredible. I made you switch.
You have changed my perception. So anyway, back to these fucking cunts.
Yeah.
Fucking every time you've got a problem, and yes, I know I'm not in Africa, but you don't have to drive it home by going, first world problem, guy. I wrote that while I was on my MacBook in a cups. Not Starbucks, I was in cups.
What's cups?
A coffee, guy.
Cups?
It sells coffee. Get with the program. Oh my god, you're so busy worrying about your first world problems that you don't even know what a cups is. Oh my god. Let me tell my friends about this on my Sprint iPhone.
Hey man, I want to get
Is that a bad phone or a good phone?
the thing that sucks about my phone.
Tank top.
I'm wearing a tank top?
I wish we had like a timeout button for Jim sometimes.
No, that's what
like-
people tune in
like-
for.
Jim,
They'd
you know
want a
that
time
thing they
out.
use in Alien Resurrection when they like freeze the aliens?
What? Don't you?
Forgot about that part.
I wish we could do that to you sometimes when you're just like going crazy. We could just be like,
Because I will stab the other Jim with my tongue and make a hole in the floor, and then I will get out of it, and you will be all in there going, oh, where'd you go? Where'd you go? And then I will hit the button with my mouth, and you will be frozen, and then you'll be in trouble.
Oh, I remember that white gas stuff.
Yeah.
Jim, you also got quieter. I'm worried. Don't get quieter.
I was further away from the mic.
Oh, that's better.
I'm animated now. This is as
Yeah.
close to exercise as I get, shouting into a microphone. Anyway, that was a great impersonation of one of those idiots who should be considered on the same level as Jeffrey Dahmer morally. Who talk about
"Oh, come on, let's be realistic here."
I did it once.
Jeffrey
First world
Dahmer.
problems. I did it a while ago.
Jeffrey Dahmer was trying to make sex zombies by drilling holes in the heads of young Filipino boys and pouring acid into their brains. At least he was trying to create something. These people are just hashtagging shit on Twitter.
That is true. That is true.
I did it once, I think. Did
What, made
I?
sex zombies? That's
Well,
fucked
made a
up, man.
sex zombie.
No, no, I never made a sex zombie.
That is not appropriate use of company time.
When I first saw
That was when
the first world problems
You're
rap video, I was like,
gross.
oh, that was cute. Hee hee. That was a funny little guy rapping. Yay. I'll talk about it a little bit, and then I forgot about it immediately.
Uh,
I hear you. Yeah, I understand how you feel. We all feel that way sometimes.
I'm just sick of it. It's like, you're not clever, you're not funny, you're not original. You're like an episode of Podtoid when you do that. Don't do that. I'm so sick of it. It's like, I'm sorry. I am sorry from the bottom of my heart that I'm not a starving baby in Africa with AIDS. But I can't change that.
Is that what it means when they say that? I thought it just meant like, oh, I know this isn't a big problem, but I'll just acknowledge it real quick. Haha.
No, they're basically saying you are not a starving baby in Africa with all flies on you in a video where they ask people to send in money, right? And you are not that. One of those babies with like the ribs, you see the ribs, but also their distended fat bellies. So they must be getting food from somewhere. But they're like, oh my god, you're not one of those. You're white and you are middle class compared to everyone else in Mississippi. How dare you ever be annoyed by something. Ever. Because you are not got scurvy and are hungry all the time and need the Red Cross to come and help you out. All I've got to say is, there's a ton of zebras out in Africa, but they don't want to catch them. I'm sorry if zebra tastes bad, but there's loads of them about. Fucking
Zebra.
eat one, you won't be hungry. This is racist.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna
Just
have
talking about
to-
a region. You're
Well,
not
I'm
talking
British
about race.
Sam Kinison.
I'm just saying.
It's yeah, you're just saying. You live in a fucking desert.
My stepfather, who was a terrible man, once said, "We gave them all seeds, but they ate the seeds. So fuck them," I guess, was his attitude.
That is terrible. But I think the point you're making is
We gave them... I mean, he's never been to Africa, but he said, we gave them tractors. Oh yeah, of course. We gave them tractors, but they're still there, rusted. He was an awful man, drunk.
He sounds bad. I don't like him.
He had no teeth.
Off the cuff. Yeah.
No, you know the man from Terminator 2 at the beginning, with the beard and the long hair, who gets fucked up by the Terminator and throws the keys at Schwarzenegger and goes, "Take it!" Him. That is go look at that guy. My stepfather looked exactly like that. I was 5 years old, and I had to look at that every day. That's why I am the way I am.
Did you ever go up to him and just go, "Your clothes, give them to me"? Or would that just be a weird thing to say to your stepdad?
That might be weird. Yeah.
He'd have probably raped me.
Well, I was gonna say that when people try to compare,
He never has raped me, by the way. I just want to...
that's fine.
That's
yeah.
not the kind of abuse.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I guess.
But you can't compare the validity of feelings, right?
Exactly.
I mean, we all feel stuff.
I mean, they have always said, I'm sorry for talking
It's good.
over you, but
Jump in. I wanna hear
I just want to jump on that point you made. I mean, it is often said that if all the people came together and put their problems into a big pot, and they were allowed to take any one problem out of the pot, each man would take his own problem home with him. So if I had, like, a little baby in Africa, and I told them, "Oh God, me Android ran out of charge," they'd be like, "No thanks, I'm gonna keep me AIDS and famine." It's all relative. He would go, "I thought I was having a bad time with my distended belly and my tinnitus, whatever that is. I don't know, I've not been educated, there are no fucking schools here." He'd be like, "Well, fuck me, your Android's run out of charge. That is awful. That sounds like a shit time. Why is Bob Geldof wasting his time over here trying to get me fed when he should be charging your Android?" Personally, by plugging it into his ass and generating electricity by rubbing his feet on the floor with socks on.
Why don't they make that? That would be so cool.
The Bob Geldof anal phone charger.
Let me charge
yeah,
your
basically.
fucking phone.
Is that how he talks?
Bob
Never heard him
Geldof
swear.
phone charger.
He's writing it
The
down.
arse is charging your Android.
I don't fully agree with the fact that the starving Africans wouldn't want your problems, Jim, but I do think that the intensity of the feeling it could be the same. Your feeling could be that intense. Your feelings are intense, regardless if the reasons for those feelings are the same that would inspire them in other people. Your feelings are real.
Exactly.
I noticed. Yeah.
You're
That's part of why people love you so much. You don't fake these
Yeah.
feelings, Jim. They're legit.
And I do realise that the past 20 minutes have possibly been the most offensive 20 minutes in Podtoid history. But hey, people are starving in Africa, so if you've got a problem with it, think about some other people, yeah?
Yeah, that could be your problem with Podtoid could be much worse. You could be
That
starting
is a
in
first world problem you've got if you're offended by Podtoid, yeah? Yeah, guys? If you excuse me, I'm going to go to Cups.
Cups, it's called?
Yes, I'm going to go to Cups and get a latte.
There's
How's
that word
their
again.
coffee?
I don't
Is it
know what
good?
that word
Why
is.
have I never heard of this place?
Do you
Yeah, I
get
wanna go.
do you get lattes in Boston? No, I don't suppose you do. They're the new coffee thing.
I've had a latte, sure.
Have you?
I've had a chai latte.
Sorry, have you had an
So, I have
alfresco
a funny
turbo
story.
latte? I don't think
Fresco
so.
Tado? No.
Alfresco turbo latte, you dullard. You probably never heard of it. They're so cutting edge. I haven't even heard of them. So, okay, yeah.
Got a story.
Oh, I'd like to hear it, Max.
Okay, so I worked at this coffee shop before I started doing Destructoid, and we got bored because it was a shitty job and it sucked. But one time, there was this girl we worked with who was like, she was just like really like, she really worked her ass off. Like she's just like really well behaved and like always really like by the book. And we were like, they don't pay us enough to do that completely. So one day we got bored and we were like, and my boss was like, her boss too. Like my boss was one of my friends from high school, so we all kind of just dicked around a lot. And she was like the only one who was really, really working hard. But one day we were like, she came in and we're like, hey, Kat, so there's a new policy that they're making us do. And she's like, oh, what is it? And we're like, it's really stupid. And she's like, what is it? And we're like, well, every time someone orders a latte, you've got to say thanks a latte.
I think you told me this one before.
So we had her do that to like all these people.
Beautiful.
And we didn't tell her until like the end of her shift. It was so great because we were like, yeah, I'm not doing it. I mean, I don't care if I get written up. I'm not doing it. And she's like, you really should. And I'm like, I don't care. She's like, it's company policy now. And I'm like, I know, I told you that. And she's like, our boss like agreed to it too. And he was like, make sure you tell him that. And I was like, so she said all these business people, thanks a latte. And they just gave her this look like, are you fucking with me? Or should I tip you more? Or what is going on here? It was embarrassing and mean.
Oh, I don't know. It sounds all right.
I used to
latte.
when I worked in as a cab dispatcher, taking phone calls and sending out cabs to idiots. I used to see how many times I could get away with saying Beetleborg in a conversation.
Oh yeah, I think I remember this one too. Yeah,
reference to the hit 90s Power Rangers ripoff Big Bad Beetleborgs.
They were big and bad.
Yeah, so I'd be like, we'll send your cab out. It'll be about 20 minutes, Beetleborg. And once one guy was like, what? And I went and said, thank you. Goodbye. Which was always, that was always fun. I've brought some material. I've brought a bit to do. Don't worry, it's not an attempt to be funny. I watched a film on Saturday night, ruined my wife's weekend.
Whoa.
It's a film called I Am Omega, which, stop me if you've heard this plot before, but it's about a man who is the last living human on Earth after mutated monsters have taken over. And it kind of follows his progress as he's sort of isolated.
Stars the guy who played the Crow on the Crow TV show?
And Jimmy in the Double Dragon live-action movie.
Yeah, I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
Is this a recent one? Has this come out like 3 years ago?
It came out 3 days before I Am Legend.
Oh yeah, so it's the Asylum.
Yes.
It's The same guys who did what? The
Well,
Transmorphers.
hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. I've got a
Holding.
list of all their major releases.
Oh, fucking hell.
And I thought I would play a game in which I read out the film that came out, and then we get to look at what came out 3 days before. So this is probably going to amuse you all. 3 of you all. So, in 2004, the hit film Freddy vs. Jason came out. And let me just, for background, The Asylum is a movie company that basically tries to make money by tricking people into buying their films thinking they're big-budget Hollywood blockbusters. So Freddy vs. Jason came out, and I don't even know how the logic here works, but Asylum released Vampires vs. Zombies. So...
It's kind of like that, sure.
Some of these, the arrogance of them is amazing. King Kong, 2005. Asylum, King of the Lost World. So, also in 2005, War of the Worlds came out. The Tom Cruise smash 'em up. Asylum, and this is the beauty, like the beautiful arrogance. They came out with H.G. Wells's War of the Worlds. Fuck you, Tom Cruise. We've got the official one. 2006, The Da Vinci Code, a huge hit. Asylum, The Da Vinci Treasure. 2006, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. Asylum's release, Pirates of Treasure Island. So, there you go. Snakes on a Plane was 2006 also. Asylum, Snakes on a Train.
Oh.
At this point, it's starting to sound like a Dr. Seuss poem. 2007 also, Aliens vs. Predator Requiem. They come up with AVH, Alien vs. Hunter.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
I saw some of that. Yeah.
Now, the thing I like about Alien vs. Hunter is if you go on its Wikipedia page, there is a chapter titled Similarities. And you just think, no fucking shit. Aside from the fact that the poster has an alien that looks exactly like a xenomorph and a hunter that looks exactly like a predator, there might be some similarities.
What's funny is they use the profits from these movies. They use them for making their own movies, original movies, such as Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus.
Oh, yeah. That made a lot of money.
I actually hate those films.
And fucking terrible.
I'll tell you for why after, because I'm not done with this gold. 2002, you love it. Jonathan Holmes is enjoying himself.
I'm enjoying it.
Why don't
I
you
just
try
love
and
your
enjoy
tone.
it?
He probably has a big bowl of ribbon candy over there, and we can't see it.
Oh, I'd love some.
Oh, I've
I
got
don't
a
even know
crepe,
what
but
it is.
I can't eat it yet. I got a crepe. I'm looking at it.
Oh.
It
Why
looks
can't
good.
you eat it?
Because I'm talking to you guys.
Yeah, well, just
Oh?
remember, he can't eat it, for with crepe power comes crepe responsibility.
Holmes, you're craping me out.
You bastards.
Oh dear! I tell you what, my favourite song is "Crepe." Crepe. That was the
Salt
same
pepper?
joke as Max.
or Radiohead.
Who knows? In 2007, Transformers. Max already said this one. Transmorphers.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Okay. I Am Legend, I Am Omega. We saw that one. 2008, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. They came up with, and again, the arrogance of them assuming this, Alan Quatermain and the Temple of Skulls.
Whoa, I like Alan Quatermain. That sounds good.
Well, you won't like what they did to it. 2008, High School Musical 3, Senior Year. The Asylum decided to take that on with Sunday School Musical. And that one, I really want to see.
Yeah, I bet it's good.
I really want to see a musical set in a Sunday school made by the kind of people that do this shit, that think they can get away with snakes on a train.
But it's always teen romance in those. Can you have romance at Sunday school, or is that sacrilegious?
Dirty romance. Wrong romance.
I guess
Bad
we'll find
romance.
out. Yeah. Oh.
Okay, here's a good one. I'm sure you all remember the hit Keanu Reeves film, The Day the Earth Stood Still.
A little bit.
Well, put that to bed, Grandpa, because the Asylum came out with, this might be my favourite, The Day the Earth Stopped.
That's like Final Fantasy is to the last story.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, Transmorphers: Fall of Man. So that one actually got a sequel.
Wow.
And Chris
And it was time.
Transmorphers?
Yeah, Transmorphers. Yeah.
the Transmorphers, robots over there. Terminator. In 2009, Terminator Salvation came out. What a shit film that was. That's the only film I've ever walked out on. Although there was
I've
also
never
these
seen
kids screaming and texting, which didn't
I
help.
heard it was not fun to watch.
It was awful. It was
Yeah.
bad.
Really?
Yeah, it was
That's
a
what I
load of
heard.
shite.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
that says a lot about you.
Oh, don't be mean to Max.
I love Max. I want to wear his flesh. In 2009, we had Terminator Salvation, and maybe I'd have liked it a bit better if it was more like the Asylum's release, The Terminators. Okay?
That is such wow. They pushed their lawyers
Hey,
hard.
it's
on that one.
Terminators. It is completely different.
And it's the
Like the original Terminators. We've got the Terminators that started it all. 2009, we had Paranormal Activity, that ridiculous film.
I haven't seen it either.
The
Yeah.
Asylum came up with Paranormal Entity.
Oh,
So,
alright.
there you
That
go.
sounds good.
Here's another beautiful, arrogant one. 2010, Sherlock Holmes, the more recent one. They came up with Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes. Okay, they've got the inside track. Remember that. Piranha 3D, they came up with Mega Piranha. It's better than a 3D one. Battle Los Angeles is a very recent one. I'm sure you all remember Battle Los Angeles.
Tiny bit. I wrote a story about it once.
You're soon going to forget about it when you see the Asylum's Battle of Los Angeles.
That's a real dick move right there.
Okay? And also
Yeah.
2011, now we've all heard of Thor, right?
What?
Thor.
Oh, Thor!
Comic
Yeah.
book licensed Marvel.
I thought you said
Entertainment.
thaw, like thawing.
Yeah.
No, Thor. I don't know how you Americans say it. Howdy, Thor. Okay? But
Thank you.
anyway, we're wasting our time talking about that shit because all eyes are on the Asylum's almighty Thor. Okay? And rounding it off, we go from Fast 5 to 200 miles per hour.
No.
There you go. I saw this list on Saturday and I was like, yeah, the Podtoid people will love to hear that. They love to hear me just reading out names of films.
Sure.
But it entertained me. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I really want to see, as a big Xenomorph fan, obviously, I want to see Alien vs. Hunter.
I think
And
it takes place on a spaceship. I saw parts of it.
apparently they've got, like, the Xenomorphs look like them in the head, and then they get spider legs.
Yeah, that sounds right. It was on Sci-Fi Channel once. Yeah, I saw some of it. So that's basically like that. What's the name of that? Is it Frozen Peak or Thaw? That iPhone developer. You think it's funny, Jim? What are they called again? They make the fake Uncharted. They make the fake. Final Fantasy. Gameloft. That's it. I don't know why they were. I thought they were called. Frozen
Well, the
Peak.
thing about Gameloft is they don't. I give Gameloft a bit more of a pass because they don't name their games to sound like popular games. They don't try and trick you. They just try and replicate the experience of a game. So if you're a fan of like Halo and you've got an iPhone, you're like, what's that game that's like Halo? Oh yeah, Nova. I'll get Nova. I guess there's an element of sleaze to it, but I kind of respect it because Gameloft make good games, which separates them from fucking AV8
Transmorphers.
and Transmorphers.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, good point. I should do that sarcastic old man bit someday.
You should.
Oh, and somebody wanted me to. There's some clip of Pierce Brosnan screaming at a blonde woman that he wanted me to play for you guys. I'll do that later, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's in a loft.
Jonathan Holmes.
Yes,
Jonathan
Jim.
Holmes. A couple of weeks ago on an episode that unfortunately got lost,
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just remembered what we're about to talk about and I couldn't stop smiling.
Is it still good? I'm worried. I wasn't even going to do it for you, Jim, or Max and Tara. You've already heard it.
It's pretty fucking good.
Is it? I don't know.
I mean,
Okay.
you came up with
what is it?
you'll remember, don't worry, the memories will come flooding back. Jonathan, you came up with a pitch for a TV show.
Yes.
And please tell us again.
The TV show was going to be about a good-natured older gentleman, probably in his 80s, who, as time has gone on, his vocal cords aren't as strong as they used to. They waver a little bit when he tries to talk, and he's a bit raspy and just going about living his life, but no matter where he goes, he sounds sarcastic. And it's called The Unintentionally Sarcastic Sounding Old Man, the TV show. Yeah.
And so, what happens on a typical episode?
On a typical episode, I guess. Well, the pitch would be the first episode would have some tension. He'd be going to the market and about to cross the street, and there'd be some young street toughs, some punks, who'd be approach him. They'd be like, "Hey, old man, you need help across the street?" And he'd be like, "No, an old man like me getting help from some big, strong boys like you. I don't think that's necessary." And then they're like, "What? You wise enough, old man? You want to bumble? I mean, you want to rumble?" And then,
Bumble?
I actually wrote that in the script. You want to bumble? I mean, rumble. Anyway,
I think you should say that, like, "Oh no, I wouldn't want to bumble."
well, yeah, they go, "No, I wouldn't bumble with you. You're way too tough looking." Froggy.
This voice creeps me out so much.
Oh, why's that?
It reminds me of the pedo molester on Family Guy.
There was a pedo molester on Family Guy?
Yeah, the old guy who always hits on Chris.
That sounds funny.
Tells him he has creamy hamstrings.
I wish I could like that show more. I wish there was a
Oh,
best
that's the best line of it ever.
Yeah, if they could take like the best 3 jokes from every episode of Family Guy and make it into one.
Certain characters are really good. That one included.
Fucking good the first 3 seasons, and then it got like canceled, quoted to death, and then resurrected. And they were like, "Fuck it, who needs writing? We're back.
Yeah.
Merchandising, let's do it."
He's just catching in now.
I
He
like
wants to be-
Family Guy. I still
Yeah?
like it.
Okay.
Fuck the
I know some good people who like it.
Fuck
And
the
you're one.
haters and fuck you all. I am a rebel. I watch Family Guy on my MacBook at Cups.
I think it's actually a pretty popular show, so you're kind of going with the grain on that one.
What would Sarcastic Old Guy have to say about Family Guy?
Say, "Oh, the writing is so clever. How do they come up with all those crazy references every week?" Yeah.
Brilliant.
He'd talk about stuff.
I'm annoyed that we are not television. It infuriates me that we don't have TV shows, like our own channel.
Do any of us have agents? I know I don't have one. Do you guys have agents now? You could probably just get on TV if you got one.
I'm talking to some people.
You should talk to them.
No, I'm talking to some people.
Good, I'm glad. Yeah.
I'm not like I'm not. I don't, yeah, you know, I've got there's things I want to do stuff, but it really does infuriate me that like the things that are shows are still shows.
Yeah.
In this day and age, like
people like those shows. Yeah.
I try not to think about it because it makes me want to invent some sort of harpoon thing that I would shoot at people's necks, and then it would rip out their necks, and just blood would shoot everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm not supposed to talk about that because I'd probably scare everyone.
Oh no, we know you wouldn't do that in real life.
It infuriates me that shit like Jersey Shore is on TV, and no one will hear my. Keep your comments in your pocket.
They are sexy, those guys. Yeah.
No, definitely not.
They are. No,
they're not sexy.
Really?
They're just.
It looks like someone. It looks
fucking entertaining to watch is what it is. It's like watching a car wreck for an hour. You just sit there with your mouth agape.
Guess why there are fucking traffic jams? Because motherfucking retards want to watch a traffic jam for an hour.
I'm using a metaphor, retard.
Whoa, he was too, though. His was good.
I just want to approach this. I want to talk again about this idea that they're sexy.
They are pretty sexy.
No,
quite fit.
It looks like It looks like someone fucking took a bag of testicles and covered it in A1 sauce, and then it is a person.
Hey, they're on posters that teens are buying and putting above their bedrooms and thinking, someday I'll get there. Someday I'll be on the Jersey Shore.
I'm just fucking. It infuriates me no end. I don't even know what that was, but I enjoyed it. The Jersey Shore is on TV, and my pitch for a hot new TV show, Dungeon Kroger, is not.
What's that? What's that show going to be?
Imagine a world where Chad Kroger and Dungeons and Dragons unite.
Fuck my ass, that's brilliant. Shit.
I know who Chad Kroger is, right?
Chad Kroger, the lead singer of the hip band
Nickelback.
Oh no, I didn't know who.
Sorry, I just...
Okay, I'm sorry. That's actually a fucking brilliant idea. I listen to Nickelback because they're so bad. They're so bad. It's like listening to a B movie.
It's like watching Jersey Shore, isn't it?
Oh, burn.
Oh, it's so bad you cannot listen to it?
I mix them up with Slipknot and Hoobastank. They're not all the same thing, right?
Hoobastank.
Both equally bad for different reasons.
No, Nickelback is like...
They have literally the same hook in every single song.
I'm in love with a girl.
Here's the homework. Everyone go and listen to the song The Next Contestant by Nickelback. This is for listeners at home. It is the funniest fucking song because it's Chad Kroger singing about how he wants to fucking beat up guys for hitting on his girlfriend.
What's it called again?
It's called The Next Contestant, and it's like supposed to be all serious and badass, but it's basically like, I'm a terrible boyfriend, the song. And he's like, it's hard to tell if he's like implying that his girlfriend is like a stripper or like a waitress or something, but there's like a line where he's like, "Is that your hand on my girlfriend?" And then he like, talks about just beating up all these dudes, and I'm like, you are like the most jealous, obnoxious motherfucker in the world.
His voice reminds me a lot of Scott. Is it Scott Stapp from Creed?
They're similar.
Another band I hate just as much as Nickelback.
So the difference there is that Creed actually tries to be inspirational on some level, whereas Nickelback is just like, they're like, yeah, man, that guy's talking to your girlfriend, fucking get him, beat his ass up. And then there's the fucking song Rockstar, which is just fucking shameless.
I've heard that one.
Just fucking shameless. It's like singing about how much he wants to be rich and be a shitty rock star. Like that's the song, which is essentially it's the Kanye West of bad rock music, but not Kanye, maybe just bad rap, the club rap of like butt rock.
Well, there is a rap song called "If You Want to Be a Rock Superstar and Live Large."
Yeah, that's a good. It's actually saying how it looks easy. This one is basically like, holy shit, it is easy. That's the difference. There's actually a part between verses where Chad Kroger goes, "I'll have the quesadilla." Like,
why?
Wow! I gotta.
That's volumes of Chad Kroger. That's the height of luxury to him.
I've got to get on this Nickelback train.
One of the lines is,
great.
I want a bathroom I can play baseball in. Like, why don't you just get a fucking backyard, you idiot? Why would you baseball?
All of these songs sound like they were written by 6-year-olds.
Is that the one? Are they like, "I am your enemy" or something?
No, you are an old man. Go back to listening to Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
I'm going to bring it back to Rage, though, because Nickelback makes me feel the way Rage... No, the other way around. Just the name Rage makes me feel the way Nickelback makes you guys feel. It's like, what? You're trying so hard.
I love Nickelback. They have a song called Animals.
You love them.
It's about having sex in a car. It's just about having sex in a car with this girl, and her dad hates you, and you're driving the car really fast, and it's like dangerous, and just describing all the different ways you're having sex in the car, and then you fucking pull over the car, and then all of a sudden someone's creeping up to the car, and oh shit, it's your girlfriend's dad. Where are the keys? You don't know because you were getting a blowjob. That's the song. Fucking listen to it. I'm shit you not. I'm telling you, Nickelback
music?
Funny shit.
Well, it sounds funny. Yeah.
it's pretending you're a bad person. It's great music. It's like a soundtrack for being a motherfucker. Last time I listened to Nickelback, I was wearing my Hawaiian shirt and drinking an energy drink with a picture of a cobra on it.
Oh dear! But just imagine lion-faced Chad Kroger fighting orcs and gargoyles. Dungeon Kroger.
I like the idea that all the monsters he thinks are trying to get his girlfriend.
So he's gonna.
Yeah, like
Right.
the princess hasn't been kidnapped. He's just preemptively kicking everything in the world's ass to make sure it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Speaking of bad people games,
I want to see a biopic. I want to see the Nickelback movie, and I want Nicolas Cage to play Chad Kroger because he looks like.
Oh Jesus, that would be too much.
Did they
I
look
think
alike?
that would actually. I think if you ever tried to film that, like the projector in the movie theater would burn because it's too much intensity. It's too much movie for any theater to handle.
I feel like I've been missing out all these years on Kroger. Kruger?
Yeah,
Kroger.
Chad Kroger.
Kroger.
He did that song "Hero" for the Spider-Man soundtrack.
Yes, he did.
How'd that go? Can you sing it?
Something. Oh, they say that a hero will save us. I'm not gonna something. That was Chad Kroger featuring someone else. I don't know. They were on a roof.
Wasn't it the man one, the unfamous one from Evanescence?
Was it?
It might have been.
I didn't know there was a guy in Evanescence.
Yes, the one that's all like, wake me up!
Can't wake up!
Can't wake
I thought that
up!
was the guy from
Can't wake
Nickelback.
up!
I mean, Linkin Park.
Spider-Man! Spider-Man!
Linkin Park? I can't tell the difference.
Whatever a Spider-Man!
I want to invent a. Oh God! I have an idea.
Nickelback! I've got it up!
Which is the one who did the Transformers? You know, like the Transformers. There, a more than meets the eye. Oh God, here I go, coming off the fly, or something like that.
Transformers, gonna fuck your shit!
Yeah, who did that one? Was that Nickelback?
I don't know.
That wasn't Nickelback. That was like some pop
no,
band. I don't know. I don't know who that was. The one that just starts playing like immediately after Optimus Prime is like, "Leave your number at the tone, and Autobots will return your call as soon as possible." And then it just starts with like, "Whoa, pop music!"
Oh man. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a
music
thing
is
that I
bad.
like to do. I like to. You know how we talked about Rihanna?
A little bit. I
I said I
remember
was
her.
hotter than Rihanna.
You are hotter than Rihanna. Yes, you
You're
are.
fucking great, Holmes. I just wanted to hear you say it.
It's true. You're much hotter than her.
That time after the Nickelback and the Cobra energy drink and then the Hawaiian shirt, I was after that, and then we ate pizza and they drew the giraffes on the pizza box. After that, we were walking down this hill and we listened to Rihanna, but we were making up new songs. And I want Rihanna to. She has this song Disturbia, and it's not about the Shia LaBeouf movie, but I want her to do a concept album where every song is just a pop song about a different Shia LaBeouf movie. I want that to happen.
Let's do it.
No one cares about my idea. She doesn't answer
No,
my
I love
Facebook
it.
message.
So
Sounds
What's wrong with her? Also, how
What?
about this? Lincoln back. It's like Nickelback mashed up with
Lincoln back.
Nickelback. Lincoln back. Nickelback and Lincoln Park. Nickel Park.
I think Tara was going to tell you that you sounded really weird all of a sudden. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, it was
Yeah,
like,
your mic
"Hey,
got
oh,
crazy."
it's but it still
Really?
still was fine.
Did I sound like
Yeah.
Rihanna?
Kind of. You sounded like auto-tuned a
No.
little bit. She's
No, you
auto-tuned, maybe?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, she just has kind of a billowy voice.
It's
If that
fine.
makes
My
any
name
sense.
is Rihanna. You can talk to whales.
She does the umbrella song, right?
Yeah. She
Yeah,
goes in the
she's
ocean
fine.
and she's like, blue whales, and they like come in to hang out with her. It's fucking great.
Jim, did everything sound okay to you, sound quality wise? Let's talk about sound quality on our podcast.
What?
How did everything sound to you? Did Mike sound weird to you? Did he sound like
On what?
when he was talking?
Sorry, I was desperately trying to find some decent questions for when we do them, and it's
What do
proving
you-
impossible.
Let's talk about Uncharted 3 and online passes.
they
How Sony may be going online pass exclusive, right? Their
told
first-
me. I broke the story, bitch.
Yeah, I know that was a hot story.
They told me. It got picked up on some websites on the internet.
Oh yeah.
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 Recognized. Journalist. I'm like the Patrick Klepek of game journalism.
You don't know, Jim, how much to some people you are like the considered the quotes man unquotes. They're like, oh well, once a mainstream journalism like Jim Sterling picks it up, it won't be indie anymore. I've heard people say that about
I am barely a man.
They consider you to like equal the big time.
Holmes,
You're like you're it. Yes.
you do weird things. You just called Jim the man. I can't.
I didn't call him that. Other people are calling him the man.
Earlier, you called me dog over the internet.
Yeah, I'll call you dog all the time, dog.
Fuck you. It sounds weird. You're being weird today.
No, I like it.
So anyway, Sony told me, they told me, the journalist, they told me that Uncharted 3 was going to have an online pass in it, and that future Sony Online Entertainment and Sony Computer Entertainment releases will feature it as well. So yeah, that's another company that has fully embraced, it would seem, the online pass scheme. Personally, I think I've made my feelings more than clear on the, I've done 3 Dreamquisitions over the past 3 weeks on The Escapist and linked them on Destructoid as well about used games, and coming out fully in support of the used game market and fully against online passes that I think are bad for everyone. Yeah.
So just so I'm clear, because I don't care about online gaming that much, to be honest. So I may be missing something, but the online pass is you buy the game, you get a code. In order to play it online, you have to use that code, and it expires after the first time you use it to guarantee that people who play online bought their games new. Is that right?
Yes, and if you bought the game used, you can download an online pass for usually $10.
Oh, that's expensive.
Because the publisher believes that once they've sold a product, they still own it. So they're entitled to a cut of, whatever is made when the game is sold on next, which I disagree with, because we live in fucking America and not Fidel Castro's Funland.
But
It's fun.
It's always fucking... I find hilarious when someone like Electronic Arts benefits so hugely from the capitalist system we've got set up in America, and then when someone else benefits from it at their expense, they're like, oh no, oh poor me, I'm the company that bought Bullfrog and rode it into the fucking ground. How dare the same system that allowed me to ruin that studio fucking cost me 1 million of my $10,000 billion. I'm John Riccatello and I'm a cunt.
but Xbox Live Gold costs money. World of Warcraft has online subscription.
Yeah, no. Xbox Live does cost money. It costs me $60 a fucking year. Where's that money going? Where's the money from first launch day DLC going? Where's the money from the $60 fucking dollars I spent on a game going?
To the developers?
To the developers, my fucking ring piece.
Oh, I don't know. Where's it going then? You tell me.
We had the CEO of Quantic Dream saying, like, oh, I lost $1 million thanks to used sales. He's got no evidence to support that. He said, I looked up the numbers of people that were playing versus the numbers that were sold. Except when you look at the numbers that were sold and look, if like 2 million used copies equals $1 million things to him, like $1 million in royalties, I looked at the math, and using his logic, he'd already made $3 million in royalties. No, I think more than that. And it's like, dude, you've made millions. When incredibly rich CEOs complain that they didn't get another $1 million, I'm like, cry me a fucking river.
Sure.
I know someone who broke their leg and then was in debt for 10 years. So...
It's a first world problem.
Pay my fucking friend's hospital bills, and then we'll talk about used sales. First world problems.
Yep, John Riccatello's got him, I guess.
But it's like, I don't know. It's like when a used game is sold, it was already sold. They already made their money from it. It's not theirs anymore. And when they say, oh, well, those people got on our online servers for free, I said, no. The person who originally bought that game bought that place on your online servers. He's merely given that space to somebody else. It didn't go anywhere. It's not like when one guy plays a game online and then sells the game to someone else, he's not still playing it online. He doesn't have the fucking disc in his house anymore.
Yeah.
Someone else is taking his place. It's not... They seem to act, and a lot of gamers swallow it, which just stuns me. It's like they seem to act like a used sale has somehow doubled the amount of people online at any given time. It's like, no, that space was bought and paid for the moment you sold that game to someone else.
It's funny you would mention that, because I've heard recently that a lot of reason why, like, Wii games, I'm going to talk about Wii games, like the Conduit 2 and stuff, the online is terrible at first. It's because they didn't expect that many people to be on, because they sold, like 100,000 copies. Yet 1 million people are on servers because they all pirated it. But that's a different topic entirely.
Well, piracy is a different topic.
Yeah.
No matter how many people try and make them out to be the same fucking thing.
Yeah, they're pretty different, I think.
And again, I've got a whole Jimquisition called Used Games Have a Right to Exist that details exactly why it's not the same as piracy, in the same way that buying a used car isn't the same as stealing a car. It's using this thing that I discovered when I was away from the internet for a bit. It's called fucking logic.
Wow, what a fiery podcast this is.
Yeah.
Max,
This is really nice and fiery.
Yes.
Max, you have been quiet for a minute. What do you think of online passes? Are you for them or against them, son?
I'm with you on the whole. When you buy a thing, it's yours, and then when you sell it to someone else, then it's theirs. Like the whole online pass thing, sort of, kind of confuses matters. I think that it might be a reasonable thing if there was, continued online support, like new stuff, or like if there was an incentive to do that, for it to be like a thing you kept going. I mean, give it a pinch of subscription on top, and it makes more sense. But
what if PlayStation Plus subscribers, for instance, didn't have to worry about the whole pass thing? It was like, you gave us money.
See, I still think first of all, that won't work because that money goes to Sony and not the publisher. But at the same time, it's still holding, increasingly so, 50% of a game to ransom. As they put more and more resources into multiplayer, it's getting into the situation where half a game's being walled off. And even as a new customer, it chafes my ballsack that I have to input a code and waste my time, especially on the PS3, where you can't even input the code within the game. Like, I beat Resistance 3's campaign, and I was like, I fancy playing the multiplayer. Went to play it, and then it was like, ha ha ha, fuck you, you twat. You're gonna quit this game, open the PlayStation Store, download a firmware update first, you prick, and then, maybe tomorrow morning we'll let you play this game you just paid $60 for. And while you're at it, peel back my foreskin and lick the smeg off me rim.
oh wow.
Wait, why is there smeg on your rim?
Sony doesn't wash its balls and cock.
Oh, that rim.
Yeah, the little rimmy bit between the hell twixt.
Okay, I get it.
Far along that bit,
get it.
and just sort of below the central vein at the top of the
All right.
penis.
I've got a pretty good picture.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you thinking like it's like a leech? And it like a leech, it is full of blood, pulsating.
Is it all dark colored like a leech, like a purpley blood-filled?
It depends what you do with it. I like to slam mine in a fridge door. It's the only way I can come.
Oh, look at that! It's 3:00.
Tara, what are your thoughts on used online passes and stuff?
I'm just lazy, and I don't want to have to enter a code.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't really affect me all that much because I don't play a lot of multiplayer games anyway, but it's always kind of hard to judge questions like this because I don't, I'm not a corporation and I don't have to deal with shit like piracy and stuff, which I'm sure is probably the main reason that they do it. So,
yeah.
I can't really blame them for doing it, but at the same time, do I have a right to be pissed off about it? I don't know.
I mean, the thing that gets me is, like, as I said, they complain that they're not getting extra money, but it's like, where's the money from your DLC going? Like, when you hold back a map pack from a game so that it can launch on the same day and you already make an extra $10 on the $60 someone already gave you, don't come crying to me that you need another $10 from someone else. I think it's such bullshit. And I do think we should have a right to be annoyed by it, because these games are expensive. And when they add $10 onto the price of a used game, they're essentially devaluing a used game's asking price, because people will eventually think, well, it says $50 there for a used game, but I'm already going to have to spend $10 when I get home, so it's $60, might as well buy it new, which is great for them, but what about the people who rely on, say, trade-in credit to afford $60 games? Eventually the trade-in credit will be lessened, because used games will cost less overall, and they're going to be fucked. And that's going to turn right back around and bite the publisher in the arse, like THQ, who blamed Red Dead Redemption for their UFC game not selling well. Well, that's now. Imagine what'll happen when people have less ability to take the sting off a $60 game, and definitely don't want to spend $120 when two games release on the same day. How do you think you're going to feel then, THQ, oh masters of the online pass, when people are even less able to afford your games?
Whoa. Well, if used games are cheaper, they'll probably sell better too, right? People will be like, online, whatever. I mean, I feel like what this could lead to
Well, I'm talking
is,
about, like, how used sales help fund people's credit accounts and stuff to buy new games.
Oh, sure.
It's
Because they
like
have more money left
yeah,
over.
and GameStop have actually provided figures that are like, yeah, we sell a lot of new games because of our trading credit and shit. So it's like, I don't know, to me it looks like a publisher just greedy for short-term gains, and they can't see the long game. They can't see the big picture and where this could lead, and how they could be shooting themselves in the foot.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
It seems like a little bit like how movies do things,
Yeah.
in the
How's
sense that it's like sort of complaining about not making enough money, even though all we're seeing is like the billions of dollars they make, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna if you want to see this movie, it's in 3D, so you got to buy the glasses." And oh yeah, it's an IMAX too, so that's another few bucks. And I don't know, it's just like I think it's just trying to justify making things more expensive by being like, "Oh, like here's a problem," like blaming it on piracy. But it's like,
you're still making a lot of money. Yeah.
exactly. I don't know. I mean, it really is. Whether it's greed or justifiable greed is kind of a, there's a very blurry line between greed and having like a good business sense.
Well, these are big companies that have to pay a lot of employees, but all the same, I would hope that the publishers and developers that put out games that don't have online passes will now do better in comparison, and it'll give smaller companies a chance to do bigger numbers and get more people paying attention to them, because they can offer an alternative that's more appealing. Kind of like how Steam has really taken off lately. They've started with not all that many big games other than Valve and some Capcom stuff on there, and now they're huge. Some people are saying they're better than all the console download services.
Hey guys, I gotta go.
There? Oh no!
Yeah, I was gonna say I gotta go. Yep.
Okay.
I gotta go see The Darkness too.
Oh yeah, video game.
I just found out that I'm going to go see Skyrim next week. So hello everyone.
When's that coming out? November 11th, 2011, right?
Best date ever.
Okay, 'twas lovely. See you guys next week.
Bye, Tara.
Bye, Tara.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
It's too bad. It's worse without her.
Now it's a boy party.
Yeah, I know. It's
Welcome
just
to the boy
guys.
party.
All male adventure.
Yeah, it can get weird.
Do you want to do some questions?
Sure, let's do it.
Sure.
Let's do those questions.
I know a lot of people are sick of the whole online pass discussion.
Really? I don't find it interesting to talk about because I just don't really play shit online. I know a lot of people do. I just, it's not my thing, so it's hard for me to get behind it.
See, a lot of people say that, and Conrad sort of expressed that opinion as well in a very well-written article. But I'm like, at the same time, I look at something like Dead Space 2, that had an online thing thrown in so they could do the online pass, and all I can think of how much better would the single player have been if they didn't put that multiplayer in and dedicate money and resources and time to that.
Sure.
Are our single player games being devalued themselves because they're focusing on multiplayer now? So it kind of can affect.
No, I was talking to a buddy of mine who's a game developer. He works for Zynga, but he's longtime gamer, and he looks at the business end of things because it's his business, and he's like, I'm really sick of like multiplayer being tacked onto games because it makes them suck. Like it makes them come out rushed, and it's just like a bad investment. It's a waste of money. I mean, like if what is it? Like I don't even know what people play really, but like I think like Crisis 2, for instance, like was that a thing that people went nuts for the multiplayer?
Exactly. It's like, I mean, even before online passes were a thing, you get a game like Overlord or Dark Sector coming out, and they've got online, and I'm like, why? No one's playing that even on the launch day, let alone now. Multiplayer already has, like, Gears of War, Killzone, Halo, and most people play just for that shit, for Call of Duty, for Battlefield. Unless your game comes out and it's got something just stellar in the multiplayer department that people, really have gone crazy for, you're wasting your time.
I think that it would be actually kind of cool if they made like the hybrid pricing model that THQ was doing, where they were like, oh, we'll put out some of the features and you can download the rest if you like them. It's just sort of a cool idea almost, but didn't quite work in practice.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to just expansion packs? Like, I think it was it Warcraft 2 that was like, oh, you can, here's the game, like play the game for the campaign. Oh, hey, you want to play it online? Here's the,
Sure.
the BattleNet.
Yeah.
So like if
Well, the thing
Uncharted
is-
3 came out for like $40, or you could buy the online pass version for like $60. Is that what you mean?
Like honestly, like Uncharted, it sort of interests me. I haven't actually really, I think I played the first one a long time ago, but like all the hype is just sort of like goes over my head at this point. But
Sure.
I mean, I'll probably pick it up when I get a PS3, but I don't give a fuck about the multiplayer. Like I don't like multiplayer.
Yeah, they'd sell a lot more copies if they went about it that way. I think there's a lot of people who would love to buy that game for $40, not $60, and could care less about the multiplayer because they're already playing Gears or Call of Duty or something online. But what were you going to say, Jim?
Meanwhile, why not make like Call of Duty like either free to play or subscription based, like one of the other, because who the fuck plays like there are a few people who play that for fucking like the campaign.
Jim,
that is. You?
Jim? Jim? We lost him. We lost Jim
going.
Sterling?
I'm here!
I couldn't hear you.
What the fuck?
I don't know. Could you hear you?
Yeah.
Okay, well then you'll probably be okay. As long as you still know you're there.
I just got to send an IM to Conrad because he keeps just saying my name over and over.
Oh, Conrad. I should plug the latest Talking to Women About Video Games real quick, because it's kind of what we're talking about. It's about features that games have that make you like lust after the game almost unreasonably. Like people hear online, they just want it. Or they hear no online, I don't want it.
Hang on, are you starting another discussion topic?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, it's linking to online, which will...
Well, okay, well, be quick about it.
I'm just plugging my show, dog.
We ain't got time for your shit.
Yeah, you should watch my show.
I've wasted most of the time doing spastic noises and having a go at people in Africa. For no good reason.
Yeah, I personally feel like if gamers didn't want online and everything without even thinking it through whether they're going to use it or not, then developers wouldn't stick it in every game and we would be happier. So that's why I brought it up. And I wrote a thing about it.
It's a myth.
Yeah.
This idea that multiplayer needs to be in everything, because if it did, LA Noire wouldn't be one of the biggest selling games of the year. Sure. BioShock wouldn't have been like the third best selling game on Xbox 360 when it released back in, 2006, 2007?
I think 2007, yeah.
The Metro 2033 wouldn't be getting a sequel if multiplayer was needed to be a success. And if multiplayer and Skyrim, fuck yeah, fucking Elder Scrolls.
Fallout. I mean, that shit. People want it, but then it's like, what's the point?
It's like there is an audience for single-player games, a huge one that can turn things like Fallout and LA Noire into these huge blockbusters. But for some reason, companies don't want to acknowledge that, and I think it's now become less a case of them, thinking they need it to sell and just wanting to put it in to sell online passes.
Oh, yeah, it could be. Well, I do think that this console generation has been about online and I guess motion control too. And both of those things have been tacked on to crap that it didn't need to be there because game developers just think, oh, well, I can make a game that's not that good and it'll sell good just because I threw multiplayer on there, I threw motion controls on there. And hopefully that'll die, both of those, in the next generation, tacked on anything.
It's the difference between making a thing that you want to make and making a thing that you think other people want.
Right. And
it's
I hope
pretty much why Rage is mediocre.
Because they made a thing that they think people want. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they were like, oh, it's what other games are like right now. Let's make those. And it's like, make a thing you're passionate about. Make that thing you give a fuck about.
I think that ties back into something when I said earlier that those sci-fi original movies like Mega Shark and Giant Octopus I don't like. Mm-hmm. It's because there's that cynicism there, that lack of sincerity. They do a film like Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus because they know people genuinely like, bad films like The Room or, cheesy action flicks like Commando. And they're like, let's do that on purpose. But that on purpose isn't funny. Someone trying to do that isn't good because there's not this sincere idea that the people making the movie genuinely believed they were doing something important and clever. And It's the same with something like Rage, in that when you try and do something, chances are good you're never going to get it. Just do what you're natural at. Just let the thing be what it is. Don't try and go for something. Because you'll never get what you want if you see what someone else is doing and think, I'm going to try and do exactly that.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
But the message for life the kids can take home with them.
Did I do the unintentionally sarcastic sounding old man voice? Did I do it too strong? Should I back off a little bit?
I think you need to calm the fuck down. You need to calm the fuck down.
Was it too much? Was it is too much? It should be more like. Which one's better?
I don't know.
The other one.
Come on, tell me which one's better.
Yeah, let's just questions.
Just tell me which one's better.
Oh, it's all good.
You sure I did okay?
You did so well, Jonathan.
I get self-conscious sometimes.
Have a shiny apple.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Fugly Duckling asks, since Halloween is fast approaching, what is the most horrifying game you have ever played?
Horrifying. Probably, why am I calling it this in my mind? I'm calling it Slither in my mind, but that's a movie by James Gunn. I'll have to pass. I'll get back to you in a second, though. I just need to look it up.
I'm trying to think, because I like horror games, but very few of them horrify
this game disgusted me. I can see it in my mind right now. They made a PC version. I think in Japan they made an NES version. It was so disturbing. Oh, God, it freaked me out so bad. Oh, I felt bad.
Oh, no, I know. The Friday the 13th game on Spectrum Commodore 64, like the old sort of home computer gaming machine era. Because even though it was just like blocky pixels, every time someone would die, because it was set in Crystal Lake and you had to find other people, like all the other kids at the camp, and herd them to a safe room. But one of the kids was Jason Voorhees in disguise. I don't know where he learned the art of disguise, but whatever. And if he found one of the other kids before you did, he'd kill them. And whenever that happened, just you'd be playing, and then you just hear, like really fucking, but computerized, so it was doubly scary. And every now and then, it would flash up images, shockingly detailed for the time. Like they put effort into it, of like decapitated heads or skulls and things. And I played it as a kid, and it scared the fucking piss out of me.
Yeah, it sounds terrifying. It was on the Spectrum, you said?
Spectrum, Commodore 64, possibly Amstrad, that kind of class of computer.
I was a big Commodore 64 guy. I'm sad I missed that. I'll look into it, though.
I was gonna say the NES version of Friday the 13th. I remember that scaring me when I was a kid, even though it was terrible.
It's tense. It's very tense.
It's just shit running at you, which is the thing that always kind of gets me anyway. I think we're doing the Extra Life charity stream. I'm supposed to be playing scary games like Amnesia, The Dark Descent, and Dead Space 2, and probably I was like, someone dig up some of them Parasite Eves or the Fatal Frames or whatever.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I don't. I'm trying. I can't think of any games that really genuinely scare the shit out of me. They're creepy. Games are creepy.
Games can be creepy sometimes. What do you think of Splatterhouse? The original, not the new one. The new one was all right, but
I like the new one. I thought it was pretty good.
yeah, it's all right, but it's not scary. That's for sure.
Oh
It's
no.
just a bloody good time.
I don't think Splatterhouse has ever been. It's disturbing and Lovecraftian, but I wouldn't describe it as ever scary.
Doom 3 was pretty scary.
Yeah, Doom 3 was scary. Flashlight stuff there. Yeah.
Oh, Doom 3 is fucking terrifying.
Yeah, anything in a flashlight is fucking is gnarly. Like it's scary. Like
yeah, Flashlight is good.
Dead Space every now and then has shitted me up as well.
I couldn't get scared by that, unfortunately. I wish I could. I haven't played all the second one yet. Maybe I'll get there.
There's babies, scary babies.
Yeah, I just think of guys sitting around in a room going, and then scary babies again. You know, whenever I see scary babies, I can't be scared anymore. Chiller is the name of the game I was trying to remember, by the way. Thank you. And it is, wow, that scared that. I almost swore. That's how scared I was.
Night Trap.
Night Trap? That's not. Oh, Chiller. Ah, I'm watching it right now while we're talking.
Okay,
it was at an arcade. No, I got to tell you about it. It was in an arcade. This giant arcade in Massachusetts. Chiller. It's a crossbow light gun game in the arcade, and I wouldn't even look at that corner of the arcade lest I accidentally see a little bit of a screenshot of Chiller. It's people. They're in a torture chamber. There's someone in a guillotine. There's a guy being hung by his arms. There's a person's head in a vice.
Oh, that game! I love that game.
Oh, and you're supposed to shoot like the crows that are gonna peck at people's eyes and like the rats that'll like grab their hands and run away. But you accidentally shoot them in the face, and it's all your fault. So then you feel guilty and grossed out. No, Jesus Christ, Chiller. You make me feel terrible. There's little ghosts with knives and stuff. Man, Jesus Christ. Never got any scarier than that. That's the epitome right there. And then it says good shooting after you like blew a guy's brains out.
Winners don't use drugs.
Yeah, those were the days. So was that good, Jim? Did I do a good job there?
You did a good job, my friend.
Thanks, Jim.
Toyman says, worst part of your job. And I'm assuming he's going to mean the video game side of our jobs and not Jonathan Holmes's licking Linda Hamilton's face job.
Yeah, the worst part of Destructoid job, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Just the pressure, I guess. I feel a lot of pressure and responsibility to do a good job for the site because it means so much to me. I don't want to ever fail Destructoid and screw up. And, you'll get a game. This happens to you weekly or sometimes daily. This happens to Jim all the time. You get a game in the mail. You're like, I have to try to finish this in 12 hours. And then it ends up getting harder than you thought it was. And you're like, Jesus, I need to get this done. And but you have to stay objective and not like let your pressure affect how much fun you're having in the game because it'll screw up your review. And you can be a lot more tense than people think. It's not just fun. It's definitely hard work sometimes.
There's some definite stress.
Yeah.
I mean, probably for me, the worst part is just fucking around with videos of any description.
Oh, God,
whether it's messing with our Springboard player or trying to wrestle a video editing program that just decided to suddenly start changing the way it does everything. I've had so much stress, and I'm not even going to lie, almost close to tears sometimes because of how long it can take. Like, I mean, I've nailed down a system, at least with the Jimquisition, where I can be done in maybe 2 hours if I don't have to do a lot of hand-drawn MS Paint art first. If it's just video clips, I can get that done within an hour, so it's not too bad. But some of the projects, like I made, and it turned out to be shit, so it was a waste of my life anyway, but I did a music video for PAX Prime Destructoid Live 2 years ago. and it took me so long to do and fucked up so many times. And the final.
You mean the Roll the Bones?
No, the intro.
That was good.
The intro montage we did of all like different Destructoid editors in video clips.
Oh, that was good too.
It took me so long to do, and the end results didn't look professional, and there was so much bad artifacting in there that Adobe Premiere just put in for no reason, and that was actually the project that had me almost weeping.
I had a few of those. I started out doing video coverage for Destructoid shit, and it was just, it is digital video is the fucking worst. Digital video is a shitty thing. Like it's like a bad thing. It is an evil fucking thing. Like trying to export the right format, and just it takes forever to render shit.
Like it's the word codec to a Destructoid editor who does video is basically like splashing holy water on Dracula. The word codec makes me want to throw up.
Sure.
Yeah. I liked it when I played Metal Gear.
Yes.
That's a good codec.
Like, no. What is this? What is 3GP? What is the fuck? What is DivX? Fuck you.
I still don't know what a DLL file is. You know, searching for DLL for that codec.
Yeah, I very recently had Vegas. I use Sony Vegas now. Unable to open .mov files, which is the file format my camera films in, and the file format the Escapist demands. It was like, no, you don't have QuickTime on your computer. And I'm like, that's the thing I've downloaded 3 times today in order to get you to recognize it.
It's like the oldest fucking video like that, and it's I know.
Yeah. I always do the same thing. I don't know if you're the same. I'll look for the answer on Google, and be taken to these random tech forums where nobody is helpful ever. And they always tell you solutions that either don't work, tell you to get a Mac or a PC, depending on which one you're actually using. Or they'll just insult the guy. They'll say, "Oh, there's been a thread on this."
That's great. What's great is when you look something up on like a forum, and you go to it, and what's the most the fucking reason I was trying to open something with iMovie. I don't even have Final Cut anymore, but trying to get something. You go on the forum, you look at it, you search for the thing, and you find something, and you find this one little thing, and you think it might be helpful, and then you look at the date, and it's from 2007, and you're like, this has been a problem for this long, and this is still one of the number 3 results.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
And usually it's something simple. Like the thing with Sony Vegas that caused me to spend 2 days trying to work out the problem, just run them as administrator, mate. Just right-click, run as administrator.
Oh, that's stupid.
And I'm like, which I'd have done if there was any result that said do that. I only stumbled on it by accident. The rest were all like, install the full version of QuickTime. Right, I did, but then what? Just install it. It's just fucking hell. Just everything to do with video is quite possibly.
I would agree with you on that. Another one is explaining to people what you do. I hate that. I hate not people who are cool. Cool people, you explain that to them, and they're like, "You play fucking video games for a living. High five." And I'm like, right? And then some people like explaining to, someone's aunt, like, I don't know, like, what do you do? And I'm like, I host an online video game news show. And they're like, oh, okay. And I'm like, no, I it's a thing, it's my job. Oh, so what is it? The Daily Show or like the Talk Soup? It's like that, but it's on the internet and for nerds. Oh. Well, all right. And then they sort of walk away, and I'm like, yeah fuck you, you're fucking stupid.
Yeah,
it's been hard.
Half my family still doesn't know what I do. They know I make money, but they don't know how.
It's the same when you're a social worker, by the way. No one knows what that means. Just like, social worker? You just work then?
You tell them to listen to Podtoid. We explained it.
Really not that. Who do you tell that to?
What?
Who doesn't know who a social worker is?
Nobody does. People who I work with in the hospital don't know. They come up to me and they're like, so you're the social worker, so you'll be getting this guy into college and you'll be finding him an apartment. I'm like, he just killed a man. So college probably isn't high on his priorities. Yes, but that's what he needs.
Jonathan Holmes.
So you'll be doing that.
Jonathan Holmes.
Yes.
Did you just say that you've gotten to hang out with murderers?
All the time. All the time.
What's it like? Are they all like Hannibal's Lecters or not?
It's funny. As soon as you start talking to a murderer, this music just comes from nowhere. It's like, and then as soon as he says something, it's like, I know what you want. Every time. They all sound the same. You get talking to me, son? They're all... No, you'd never know they're murderers unless you find out.
Oh, you would. You would.
No, you don't know.
Are they
and
all
when
like,
someone is about to murder you, there's no music.
Are they all like, hello, Jonathan?
No, nobody. Movies have really trained people to think that there's gonna be dramatic camera angles and an orchestral score when they're about to be in danger. When a guy runs at you with a knife, there's no music, there's no camera angles. So you're just like, is that really a knife?
So when
he's gonna stab me, isn't he? Huh?
So you mean to say that you got to meet a murderer and he was just sat there in a Scooby-Doo shirt, eating Cheetos, going, oh yeah, I killed a guy. Yeah, stabbed him with a knife.
No. The last...
Hey, can I get Frasier on TiVo?
No, yeah.
I really want to see what Niles is gonna do to woo Daphne this week.
Hold on, Jim. Can you say Frasier again?
Frasier on TV.
It sounds like Treasure, but it's Frasier.
Yeah.
Frasier.
It's cute.
It's my murderer voice, man. I'm just sitting here eating Cheetos, just watching all the great American comedy that you got on.
I don't think I've ever actually talked to Brad Nicholson, but I have an idea of what he sounds like based on these voices that you sometimes do.
And I'm fairly certain Brad Nicholson has killed a man as well.
It's possible.
He's just like in Walmart buying some batteries for his noise cancelling headphones, and someone is like 2 aisles away, and they've done nothing. They just picked up like some animal crackers, and then he just hears the box rustle, and he's like, "You looking at me, son?" And then just runs over there and clotheslines the guy and just kicks him until he is paste. And then he picks up the animal crackers and he goes, "These are my animal crackers."
I always remember him being more drolly, like, "Hey, man." Well, that's just in my mind, though. Anyway, what are you going to say, Max?
I was going to say another part of my that's hard about this job is like kind of separating work and play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it sort of feels, you sort of feel guilty for doing work sometimes because it's playing video games. Like right now, I'm like Jen's home from school, and I'm like, I have to work, which of course for me is talking to you guys for 2 hours about this. Which is kind of
It does feel like you've cheated at careers.
Yeah, it does. It is like the stupidest job in the world. It's like when you want to be tired and you want to complain, it's like no one's going to give a fuck, you know? Yeah. You can't complain about it.
Like I don't know if I said on Podtoid last week, it was actually one of the reasons why we couldn't record properly, but I got in a new computer, which I got from NVIDIA, and they actually sorted it out so that I could review all the top new games, which is a fair enough thing, you know. I have discussed it, and it's a rather open thing. I've been very obviously I've been very candid with it and honest. They gave me this new computer so that when I review a game and mention what specs I used, the word NVIDIA is going to come up. You know, it's basically advertising, but I don't have to advertise. I don't have to say whether it's good or not, just what I used. But at the same time, I still feel guilty as fuck looking at this thing, which I got to do a job that I love, and get paid for that on top of that. Dale North as well received some similar help, and he was just like, he kept typing just guilt.org in the chat, in our Destructoid staff room chat over and over again, because you do feel guilty, especially when you download Doom to play on your NVIDIA charged rig that was designed to handle Battlefield 3 on Ultra. It's like, I'm going to play Doom. I'm an arsehole.
Well, it's going to be obsolete someday, that computer, so you don't have to feel bad.
No, that's why they gave me a brand new rig, so they could keep upgrading it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they want to make sure that I'm still using NVIDIA products, which I would do anyway, because, and this isn't me being a corporate-sponsored whore, I actually do like NVIDIA quite a lot, so I would still be using their stuff anyway, but they're helping me to afford it. And all I've got to do is do what I'd normally do in a review and say what I reviewed the thing on. So, fair enough. But at the same time, I feel like I've pulled off a bank robbery. Like I've cheated, like I've stolen something, or this is at someone's expense, or that I don't deserve it, I shouldn't have it. And the only way to counteract that, I've found, is to just keep working. Just really put your head down and fucking grind. So I work as hard as I possibly can, day in, day out, just to justify the ridiculously nice sort of living I've had. I think that's what you can do.
Yeah, that's good of you to do that. Not everyone would do that. Not everyone would feel guilty about just getting stuff to do their jobs.
There are
you're
some
a humble
people
dude.
that take it for granted. They get really angry if they don't get swag at a convention, or if they get recognised at PAX or something. They're just like, oh, yeah, I'm better than these people. And I hate. It's just.
They're not as happy as us.
You should be snivelling and grateful and glad that you have what you have.
I've complained about not having, like a Wii or a GameCube or whatever. And I've had a few people offer just to give me one, and I'm like, absolutely not. That is too nice. I'm not gonna. That's not fair. You take that and you sell that and you buy games with it or buy food or something. Pay for your college loans.
Nintendo would probably just give you one.
Really?
Sony fixed my PS3 for free.
I don't know about Nintendo. It's like squeezing blood from a stone with something.
No, not with me. They sent me a Wii. They sent me one after it got stolen.
Oh,
really?
They're like, oh, here you go. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how that works.
I'll put you in touch with the guy.
I guess I'm just bad at doing that. I got really mad because Naomi Kyle, who's the new host for IGN's Daily Fix, I haven't met her. Everyone tells me she's really, really nice and is a total sweetheart, and that she like sold all her things to move from Canada to live in San Francisco and to work this dream job, or so. I don't know if that's true or not, but everyone says she's cool. She tweeted a picture of a PlayStation that she got, and I got all huffy about it because I don't have a PlayStation, and I've been hosting a
They'll give you one, man.
show. You think so?
Yeah, I'll get you in touch with the lady.
All right.
She's a nice lady. Yeah.
Okay.
She'll just give you one, whatever. PlayStation? It's old at this point anyway. PlayStation 3? They're just lying around.
All right, well, I don't know. It's just weird because I just complain about things and nothing ever happens, and then people go, "Oh, they paid you to say that." And I'm like, no one pays me anything to do anything. Fuck you. I get paid sometimes, but it's like pretty obvious. People call this out for on the show in some YouTube comment. They were like, "Guys, I don't know why you're saying come on, let's be real. You're getting paid to say that. That's why you talked about Angry Birds all that time." And I'm like, no, we talked about Angry Birds because Tara said so. I don't know why we did that. We say when we're gonna get paid to talk about something, we say let's take a word from our sponsor. That's why it's called a sponsor.
I think that's another bad thing of the job is when they accuse you of various things like trolling or getting paid off. It's like I look at the person they think I am. A scheming Machiavellian genius able to manipulate entire communities online into doing his bidding every time he says so, while getting paid by Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft to do it. And I'm like, I'm not that clever, and I'm not that rich, but I'm being treated like I am, and I feel fucking conned.
Yeah, when you're famous, people assume you're also rich and powerful. It
also a
sucks.
Jerk.
Yeah, they assume you're a jerk.
But they always accuse people. They always accuse myself of having a big ego, and it's like, I think I'm rubbish.
Hey guys, hold on.
Yes.
We always do this. We always get to the end of the show and we just start getting all fucking Breakfast Club, or we start whining about fucking spilling paint.
Our
first world problems.
How long have we been on this one question? Because my bottom hurts from sitting
forever. Yeah.
I'll finish by saying I was bummed when I was recently accused of hiring an actress for talking to women about video games. So, you wrote a script and you paid an actress, And it's flattering in a way that they think that I have that much money and power, but no, I don't. I
Oh no,
didn't.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
according to some people, I hired new writing staff for the gym.
I remember that. It
Yeah.
reminded me of that.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I thought I almost reached Jimquisition
I
levels.
wish. If we
Yeah,
could hire actresses and writing teams, like
what would we be here for? Yeah, if
Yeah.
I could hire an actor or an actress, I would not be in my own videos. Trust me.
yeah, life would be grand.
Indeed.
Let's try and blast through because we got barely a quarter of the way down the page. Let me just try and throw out some quick ones. Chomsky Honk says, "What new characters would you like to see in the next Super Smash Brothers?" Which I thought was a nice one.
Oh, sure. Chibi Robo. I'd love to see Chibi Robo in there. What's the guy from Hotel Dusk again?
Oh,
What's his name? Like
fuck.
Gruff Grit or something.
Yeah, Gruff Grit.
Yeah, Gruff Grit. I'd love to see him in there. I'd like to see characters from Sin and Punishment 2, underrated Nintendo published game, but made by Treasure. I feel like I'm hogging this one. I could go on and on with the Nintendo characters. And Travis Touchdown. Travis Touchdown.
How about this? I got one.
Yep. Yep.
I would like to see all the characters. I'd like to see them get rid of all the characters except for all. Shut up. Except for all the characters from Donkey Kong Country 3.
Wow. That would hurt me bad because I don't like Donkey Kong Country that much. I like the new.
Yeah, I know. No one does. Nobody wants to play as that big fucking retard monkey or fucking Trixie Kong, that slut.
There's a lot of people that love Donkey Kong Country 3. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, the level design.
Guess what? It is. It's people. Yeah, people fucking. That is a fucking excellent example. I got in so many arguments with people last summer because they were like, "Oh, Donkey Kong Country 2 is the fucking pinnacle of level design," and I'm like, really? Because you're on a fucking buttfuck ugly pirate ship. No pirate ship would ever be built like that. It might be great level design, but you don't fucking design a pirate ship like that, you fucking idiots.
It's not really that great level design. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but it's just kind of like,
game.
oh, I walked from left to right.
Comparing 1, 2, and 3, it is just fucking downhill. Like, those games got ugly.
You think they got uglier as they went on?
They got
used
fucking
more
ugly.
bits. They had more bits.
They had so many megapixels in those games. And somehow they still sucked ass.
I never got into them. I like the newer one on the Wii though by Retro Studios. That was pretty good.
I really want to play that.
Yeah, it's good. You'll get your Wii
your
soon.
question. I hate the the Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, you don't like that series.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would like Agent Morgan from Deadly Premonition and another guy.
I want Suda.
Gilgamesh from Final Fantasy.
How about How about the River City Ransom guys?
They'd be good. They're just guys, but they'd be good.
Bill and Bob or whatever, Bob and Robbie or something. The Contra guys, Contramen.
Oh, okay.
I just want to start shouting out old. I just want old games. Give me like a. I don't like these new little shits. I don't like these fucking polygon ice climbers. I want the old. I just want old Nintendo characters. I want Alfred Chicken. I want Alfred Chicken fucking up. I don't know, one of those eggplants from the ice climbers or from Kid Icarus.
There's the Eggplant Wizard. You mean the Eggplant Wizard? He's good. I was shocked that Smash Brothers Brawl didn't have a mode where you could play with old sprite-based characters. I thought that was obviously something everyone wanted, but that's like the one thing that's not in that game. That would have been much better.
Nintendo really is an expert on everything everybody wants. Fucking.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty popular game. Just saying. But Jim will tell you that if just because something's popular doesn't mean it's good. Jim will tell you that.
We've had a lot of questions. I'm just going ahead. We ain't got time for this
move ahead,
bullshit.
please.
A lot of people have asked whether we played, and I'm assuming Jonathan Holmes is the only one who has, the Binding of Isaac.
I played a little bit of it, but my computer didn't play it too good because of like DIL files and stuff. Though it's a Flash-based game. I did play it. It'll beat you up. It'll make you feel bad. You have to enjoy randomness a lot, which I do. I feel like when they put a lot of random elements in a game, it makes it feel more like a real place because the world is filled with random elements, and therefore putting them in a video game often helps to make the game world feel like a real place. So there's tons of random elements, randomly designed levels and enemy placement and power-ups and stuff. So every time you play it, it's like a different game, and it is very well made. Jordan DeVore gave it a 9.5 out of 10, I think. He really liked it, and I like it too. It's a good game.
One day, I want Jordan, right, to eat Conrad because they hang out together. I want to just like kick Conrad's bedroom door open and just go, I am Jordan, devour! While Conrad is clawing at the bed saying, help me, Katrina, help me. And he's just,
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
That is pretty funny. I enjoyed it.
I
Really
love
funny.
those wacky guys.
Yeah.
I do like them. I don't want to see Conrad get. Well, I do because it would be funny, but I don't want Conrad to die.
He could eat somebody else.
He could
Jordan
Conrad
Devour.
could come out as a little poo man, so he is still alive, but made of poo.
Have you guys seen Doggy Poo?
What?
You should see it.
What?
Doggy Poo.
Oh.
We can move on. It's a show. It's good. It's a good movie. Called Doggy Poo. It's good. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, let's do one more.
Yep.
Max, this one's just for you. LOL FAQ says, Max Schofield, why the fuck do you keep ignoring important questions like those pertaining to The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword's acrobatics and answering dumb shit instead on your Destructoid live shows?
What? Skyward Sword's acrobatics? He wants to know about. There is wall running now.
Question. Is there wall running?
Max. Yeah, Max. Man. Come on, Max.
Lolfac's a dick.
Whoa.
He's a dick. He's a dick. I've talked to him in the chat sometimes. He's a dick. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I ignore. I generally when we answer the questions in the live show at the end of the show, and we've been talking about video games, and I like to open it up to people. Like, typically we say the shit we know in the show. Like, we try and hit those on the head. If I skip a question, it's because I don't know the answer or because it's really fucking boring. Like, I've gotten asked Saints Row or Skyrim a million fucking times. I'm getting both of them, you fucking morons. They're different games. Like, it's not like
they're pretty different. Well, they know you like that, so they're like, talk to me about a subject you like.
Yeah,
that's what they should say. Just this is advice for people. For in the future,
thinking of questions, it's just I don't know.
Yeah, they don't have to. They can just say, Max, talk about things that you like, and just say my name once.
Well, yeah, that's it. It's like the either or questions. Either or they're just another kind of yes or no questions. Like, if you ask me like one or the other, I'm like, I'm either gonna say neither or I'm gonna say shut up. Like,
yeah,
it's
or
pretty
both.
simple. Someone was like, Modern Warfare 3 or Battlefield 3, and I'm like, Basketball Jam is the game I made up right now. It's not a real game.
Okay, well, I'm actually just going to end with Ronin Zero's little comment, which is Jonathan Holmes. When you were a kid, what was your favourite bubble to mark on a test for your fucking ethnicity? Which I had to say just purely for the aggression in the tone.
Yeah. Oh, desperate to know. It was always other. There's always other, and that was my bubble.
There we go, because we don't know what race he is.
Jonathan Other Bubble Holmes.
Did you guys see all the comments of the Solita Robo review guy?
Oh god, that kid's stealth. That was a good amazing.
Time. Yeah, I had a good time in there.
Solita Robo, like you couldn't get people to look sideways at that game before.
It was my personal mission to get it to 300 comments. It's currently at 500.
Over 500.
Felt good.
Yeah, well done.
It's a thing I like to do.
Yeah, but you can see more of that on Destructoid.com, where myself and Jonathan Holmes reside. Or if you like your Detoid visual, you can check out Max Scoville. I'm being more dynamic with this. You can check out Max Scoville and Tara Long on the Detoid show. And that's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Rev3 and, of course, YouTube. Hope you like the show, and you can check it out on Android for an app for $2 if you like, and listen to that on your phone. Thank you very much for listening. I think I've said everything. Jonathan Holmes has a new Talking to Women about video games up on Detoid.com. Check it out. I've got a new video on the escapistsmagazine.com, Jimquisition. Check it out. And yeah, just come back next week if you like. Bye.
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 Bye. I think I did the our sarcastic. I didn't practice.
Oh, for God's sake!
I didn't do it good enough. I'm sorry, guys.
That was an hour ago.
I feel so guilty about my lack of performance.
Do you want to take a second take?